Yo, 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 welcome to the Kane and Reloaded show. This your boy 305 Kane.
And it's your boy DJ Reloaded.
Let's talk about it, DJ Reloaded. My boy Cam and the situation he's having with the NFL and how they hating on my dog.
And we're not just Cam, right? We talking about Jameis Winston
Jameis too,
right?
Jameis Winston too, you're right. Before we get started, we need y'all to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We need y'all to hit that notification bell if you love what we're doing so you can get notified whenever we go live and you could be here with us. We don't go live on Facebook all the time, so if you're watching this on Facebook, this is a rewatch. You need to hit that subscribe button so you can get when we're going live.
Yeah, and before we get into the topic, right, I'm saying, just look off.
Bring out my Shannon Sharp on you tonight.
hey, I'm gonna eat that up too.
Sharp on you tonight.
This little topic me and my old lady was talking about. I had posted an article on my Facebook, right, about the growing issue of bad bugs in Colorado. And I was telling my lady, like, like bad bugs are very disgusting. I would rather have roaches in my house than bad bugs. And I just want to know how you feel about that. Would you rather have bad bugs or roaches? What would you rather deal with? Roaches. You had to pick one. Had to pick one.
Roaches. I'm picking roaches all day, hands down. I don't know
why is that?
Because roaches kind of only attacks your food. You can protect your food. But when it comes down to bed bugs, they're attacking you.
And that's my point. That's my point. And I told my lady, man, I can't have nothing that's sucking on me on my bed that I ain't getting off to. Hey, I had to be honest with her, man. Hey, I don't want nothing in my bedroom that I'm not getting off to that's sucking on me. So give me the roaches. Because hell, at least roaches, you can have an understanding. When the lights come on, hide.
There you go.
But back to the topic at hand. Cam Newton, Jameis Winston. It's been 2 weeks, going on 2 weeks. They both on the free agency market. I think they both in trouble.
Nah, I think Cam in a better position. I think they both good. I think Jameis is in a good position for a good backup role. Cam is in a good position for a starter role. He gonna find a home somewhere.
Who?
Los Angeles. Who that is? The Rams.
So you think the Rams are gonna take a banged up Cam Newton?
Yeah.
Why not? Huh?
Why not?
I mean, because they got a lot of young options. I mean, I would take Jameis before I take Cam. At least I know that I can develop and work with Jameis, and he's going to be a pocket passing quarterback, stand tall, put the ball down the field, and I think he got a better arm than Cam. So I'm gonna go with Jameis over Cam.
If I'm trying to win now, I'm going with Cam. If I'm planning on developing this player for the future, because the potential is there with Jameis to be developed for the future. He just haven't been developed right, especially with all of the coaching change and stuff going on at Tampa. I think him leaving Tampa was better than him being in the free agent. I mean, yeah, it's better than him being in the free agency right now. Like him leaving and getting out of there is a plus for Jameis because he can find somewhere that he can really be coached up. I think there's a couple spots he can go, and trust me.
When you say that, it's kind of hard for you to say that, right? To say that you're talking like Cam is Tom Brady, right? I don't put him.
Don't say I'm talking like Cam is Tom Brady because I don't give Cam that. I didn't say that. Cam is more. Reason I say win now is because Cam is more seasoned than Jameis is. And if I need somebody to get in there and to lead my offense and run my offense, and I'm a good coach, if Cam was to go to the Patriots, Cam would be fighting for a Super Bowl. He would at least be in the playoffs. Period.
So you think that Cam right now going to the Patriots will make that type of difference?
I think Cam going to the Patriots would go to the playoffs.
I most definitely believe he'll go to the playoffs, but Super Bowl, that's a whole nother
I said
conversation.
fight for the Super Bowl. So if you go to the playoffs, what you doing?
They would have to put a lot of good pieces around Cam. And one thing that Carolina has never done, only probably about one season when they did go to the Super Bowl, they actually put pieces around Cam that Cam fired off and looked it great with, right? That was that one season with Benjamin. He had a big receiver because we know Cam is not the most accurate quarterback. He had a two-headed monster in the backfield. And, he had Greg Olsen. Shout out to the U. Um, so Cam, you have to put enough pieces around Cam to make sense for Cam to have fun and enjoy the game. I also feel like that's another part of Cam issue was he stopped having fun. The
But that's why I
NFL,
say him leaving. I think Carolina. See, that's what I don't look at these situations with these two quarterbacks as bad because they wasn't having a great time at the spots they was at. I feel like them moving and finding somewhere to be comfortable and be able to, like you say, Cam, get back to having fun, being around some young, energetic players that want to have fun too. A team that ain't the fans ain't even got no dang on high hopes for. He get on a team like that, he can go out there and he can show out and enjoy himself. But
but I don't think Patriots is that organization
no,
that's going
I'm
to
not
allow him
saying
to
I
do
want
that.
no. When I made that example, that don't mean I want Cam to go to the Patriots. Patriots got
Okay.
when I made that example, I made that example for Bill Belichick, not Cam.
I think Bill Belichick would click better with Jameis Winston. I mean, I think that it'll be something. It'll be something
Now
that
that's a perfect spot for Jameis. Jameis go to the Patriots. Jameis might be fighting for a Super Bowl.
right, and because I mean, when I think about Jameis, and his when he was in FSU, Florida State,
Ooh.
he was around a very good coach who, made good, saying adjustments in the second half. I think Bill Belichick will be able to do the same thing with Jameis Winston and Cam. I think Cam, his personality is so big that I think there'd be a conflict for him to coach Belichick.
No, I wouldn't want Cam to work with Belichick. That's not what I was saying. What I was
Okay.
saying, using the example as if Cam was to get put in a good position, he would succeed more than what people portray him as doing right now. Because Cam did what he had to do with what he had. Like you said, he only
Right.
had one complete season with a complete team. So
Right.
besides that, he had to carry majority of all of the load on offense. So
Right.
and that's rushing and passing. So with that being said, that's why I said an offense similar to he can go with Andy Reid. He can go with some of these good coaches that
He ain't going to Andy Reid. No,
no
he got my homeboy over there.
time out. When I say these names, stop taking it as me saying he go to these.
I have to because
You think Cam in the Andy Reid system wouldn't succeed?
it won't even happen right now. You can't even think about that right now
What are you talking about?
because my homeboys and Reed ain't going nowhere.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm not using that as Cam. Of course, he's
we
not going.
talking about a team that's available.
And I already said the team that's available that's looking at Cam, which is the Rams. But that's not what I'm talking about right now. What I'm talking about is for Cam to succeed, he need to be around a coach that knows what he's talking about and knows what he's doing. He can't just be around all these flippy floppity coaches and going through all of this extra stuff. He needs somebody that's already, got like somebody like Andy Reid, Bill Belichick, coaches of that stature, not them exactly, but a coach of that stature. I don't really too much know what the Rams coach is or what he got going on, but I think he came from Baylor, I want to say, or something like that. But I don't know. No, I think that's Carolina coach. But regardless, he need to be around a coach that's going to actually help him grow. Jameis needs somebody with that direction that's going to actually discipline him on top of, guide him through his career. That's why I say Patriots Offense, I'm just using these coaches' mind. I'm not using their team and who they got on their team, they roster. Forget all that. I'm just using their mind. He need a coach with that type of mindset, like a Bill Belichick mindset, that's going to say, no, this is my system. Run it like this. You know, you have these options. Use them like this. Like somebody that's going to really guide him to be successful. Because a lot of times, Jameis improvise a lot.
I mean, I totally agree. Like I said, me personally, I think that I would rather see Cam go to Pittsburgh.
I would love to have Pittsburgh, but see, that's what I'm saying.
I
That
would
is
love
a great team for Cam to go to.
I mean, because being Big Ben on his last leg, it's time for Pittsburgh to start looking at a new era. Cam been in the league for 8 years. I believe he can give Pittsburgh another 4, 5, 4, 6, about 5 to 6 years before he called it quit. I also think that if he does go to a team like Pittsburgh, they got to put a running game behind Cam and stop that part of his game. If they can do that, they can prolong Cam's career, and he can be, again, another, conversation of MVP, etc. But let me get on my boy Jameis, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're saying a lot of things about Jameis. I like Jameis Winston better than Cam right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said again, I love the you, but I'm a Jameis Winston fan. And just digging up, if you look at Jameis Winston first year as a quarterback in the league, he threw for 22 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, almost 20,000 yards, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I bring it up, and it's kind of like, and it's very alarming, that was the only year he had a complete running game behind him. That was the only year he had a complete running game behind him. And every other year since 2015, his running backs struggled to get 800 yards.
But see, that's not, you can't just, he had running back talent. When you have a bad scheme, when it's hard for running backs to get yards, because you have, why you think they've been saying Tampa Bay offensive line was one of the bottom of the NFL? How can you run behind that? But I don't think offensive linemen were the problem. I think offensive scheme were the problem. If you look at, if I use my team an example as the University of Miami, they say our offensive line is trash.
It is.
But it's really not. It's the scheme we was running. You can't have certain players to play Miami should be in the spread offense, which we will be running this year. We will be in a spread offense. We haven't been running that. We've been running power eye offense. And when you got players that's from that area that's not equipped, because that's not what they did coming up through high school, youth football, all of that, you're going to look bad because that's not what you used to playing. That's not how you like to play. That's not what you built for playing. If you recruit players to play a spread, they got to be quick, fast, and light on their feet. They can't be big Georgia offensive linemen. They got to be lighter offensive linemen. So you can't take a light offensive line and put them on a Georgia team and then expect to run with all three of Georgia running backs. They still wouldn't get yards. And Georgia have nothing but running backs.
Let me ask you a question. I mean, when they report that there is no teams that are interested in Jameis Winston, I mean, to me that says a lot, because there's even articles out here that Bruce Aaron called teams about Jameis Winston, and a couple teams told them flat out they have no interest. Other owners changed the whole conversation. They didn't want to talk about it. I mean, like I said again, it's kind of crazy. A quarterback who threw for the third most passing yards as a rookie. Granted, last year he threw 30 touchdowns, but he threw 30 interceptions. But you're talking about a quarterback who doesn't have a complete scheme, a good coaching, good running game. He has some good receivers. I feel like Jameis Winston, I think he's still paying for some of the things he did when he was in college. I think he's paying for. I think he's paying for some of the things he did when he was in college and some of the bad choices he made. How do you feel about that?
I don't think so. I think it's mainly situational. I think it's mainly what's going on in the United States right now. Number one. Number two, it's still early. It's Jameis got plenty of time to get work out with plenty of teams. My belief for everything is Jameis is going to get on the team. The thing is, when Jameis get on the team, Jameis got to prove he need to be that starting quarterback, or he at least need to be a backup. So when that starting go down, he need to take over and never look back.
I just don't like the fact that he, you know what I'm saying, people talking about Jameis being a backup quarterback. I mean, you give him the right system, the right coach. I think Jameis got the arm talent to be a top 5, top 10 quarterback in the league. I just think that, you know, when you see like quarterbacks like Case Keenum get signed, Marcus Mariota get signed before Jameis, or even Cam, to me that's a red flag, and it rubs me the
Cam got, but see the thing with Cam got released late. It wasn't really he got released when all of these teams picked up these people when these players were still signed to the Cam was still on the Carolina Panthers, so they couldn't pick him up. So after these teams then picked up their players, now Cam is on the market. You're not finna tell this, but oh well, never mind. We changed our mind. We're gonna go get Cam. You just picked this dude up. You just made your trades. You just did all of this to get who you had to get. So that if you go, Stephen A. Smith pointed that out, and he said a lot of people not talking about it, that the Carolina Panthers screwed over Cam because they did not let him get in that market and be able to market himself, especially with before all of this, stuff outbreak. You feel me? So Carolina really screwed Cam up.
I mean, I totally agree, but that goes back to what I mean, even what Steve Smith said about Carolina as an organization and owner, right? He said a lot of, you go back and look at the article. He said a lot of things that was impactful and negative about the ownership of Carolina, and and to me, when I look at Cam and I look at his whole body of work at the Panthers, they really wasn't supporting him and putting talent around him. I like what Philly did, right? Philly realized they got a young talent. They got something good going. Philly started bringing in free agency after free agent, right, to boost that roster. They spent money to win a chip, and they won the chip. Carolina doesn't. That if you're talking about the Panthers, they don't. That's an organization that they need. If they could get rid of the owner, I wish that teams can or the city or the people had the power to veto and push owners out, because I don't think a lot of owners really want to win, and it shows with the time that Cam Newton spent with the Carolina Panthers. But again, my issue is that I think that Jameis should be signed before Cam. But again, Bruce Aaron is also hating on Jameis, so I think it's going to be a tough. It's gonna be very tough to see Jameis Winston get signed in the next couple of weeks, because I think that, again, things he did in college, and okay, I give it to you, right? He did have 30 interceptions last year, but again, he still didn't have a good team behind him. So I just feel like with Jameis, if he goes, then Cam will go.
I feel Cam is going to go way before Jameis. Cam is way more seasoned. Cam brings you wins now. He brings you a better opportunity now. If it was between the two of them, Cam brings the better opportunity. Jameis is a future developed quarterback. Jameis needs to take time off of being a starter and really break down his mechanics and decision making and become a better quarterback. Okay.
How can you say that when and this is one of the issues, and it's hard for me to watch football and I know, because when you got Ryan Tannehill starting for a team, it's hard for you to make that argument to me, because
Ryan Tannehill's season compared to Jameis' season in last year.
One, it wasn't Ryan Tannehill; it was a running game that took Tennessee where they went at. Okay. It's kind of hard for you to make that argument, because I know for a fact, because being a Dolphin fan, I know for a fact what Tannehill is.
Yeah, but you know for a fact what Tannehill is in those schemes. Look how many coaches Tannehill went through the same thing Jameis did. But then he go to Tennessee. They put a good coach around him with a good scheme. I don't give a damn if it was the running game that got them to where it was a good scheme. They put him in a good position to succeed. If Jameis is put in a good position to succeed, name a time Tampa Bay had a good scheme coach to coach Jameis. They haven't.
They haven't. But
okay, so
give
that's
me the benefit of the doubt. I get it. Tom Brady is the once in a lifetime talent, and you got to make that move. I don't think Tampa Bay is gonna go that far neither. So people in Tampa, Florida, don't get your hopes high. I don't. If Tom Brady is dropping back and throwing deep, he going down. Down goes Frazier.
No, I don't
it's
think
gonna happen. It's gonna happen. If they get Antonio Brown and they already got a couple scat backs, they already got a couple of wide receivers that like to go down the field. If they run a scheme that Tom has to stand in that pocket like Jameis did, Tom ain't gonna last long.
I think so. I think Tom. See, that's the problem with when you watch football, you can't watch from what happened on the play. You got to understand what they was doing before the play started. Now, if I can get to this line and I can identify the mic, I can identify the weak side linebacker. I could tell if this safety is in the cover 3 zone or he's in the cover 2. And I could tell my receivers to do a quick hitch, a quick slant here, a bubble screen here. If I can see these things coming before it happened, I can make a better decision. Now I can throw to those quick passes and get the ball out my hand and get it to my scat backs and get it to Antonio Brown on a 5-yard comeback and let him break it for the first down.
Why I say what I'm saying is this: the longer Tom holds the ball, the more at risk he is of getting hit.
But how many seconds are you allowed to have as a quarterback to throw the ball?
How old is Tom Brady?
How many seconds are you allowed to have to throw the ball as a quarterback? 2.4 seconds in the NFL. 2.4.
But you just made an argument earlier in the show that Tampa Bay have one of the worst offensive line in the league.
No, I said people say Tampa Bay has one of the worst offensive line, but the scheme will make them look bad. If you have a bad scheme, if you have a bad running scheme, guess what? Your running backs ain't gonna get no rushing yards, because if you pulling guards and you know this man he ain't fast enough to pull around here to pick up this linebacker, and you keep running pulling guard plays, your scheme. Look at the University of Miami.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Who was the running back for Tampa Bay last year?
I don't know.
Thank you.
Point.
At this point, they didn't have a running back.
Okay, let me ask you a question. You listen?
Go ahead. I'm listening. I'm always.
Who was the running back for the Broncos?
I don't watch the Broncos.
It don't matter.
It does matter.
Hey. I
don't follow the Broncos.
And I don't follow Tampa Bay. But I know the situation he been having in Tampa. I have watched some of, because my brother is a Tampa Bay fan. I have watched Tampa Bay games. I have seen that they scheme, and Jameis, with his improvising that he like to do, has hurt him.
Which I'm kind of confused with Tampa Bay, because you bring in Bruce Aaron from Arizona. Why? I don't think Bruce Aaron was a great coach for Arizona. I mean, it just I would have rather than bring in a young coach or something like that rather than Bruce Aaron. Bruce Aaron, that was a no-brainer for them to go with Tom Brady. But again, I can't fault them to go with Tom Brady. Oh, and let's get to this comment. Okay, all right. Do you feel like race play a part? Because I mean, like, I know that's the elephant in the room. Do you feel like race plays a part when it comes down to both these quarterbacks?
I think race plays a major part within both of them, because one, they black, and we all can agree they black. Two, because they black and they not, name one of them quarterbacks a top 10. I mean, well, I would say top 5. I even say top 6. Now one of them in none of the NFL eyes is really above that top 10. Ain't now one of them a top 10 quarterback.
So who's your top 5 right now?
Listen to me. I don't follow NFL quarterbacks NFL period like that. I keep up with certain players. I watch certain teams with certain games. But me, I'm a college fan. I watch them from college. They get to the NFL. The NFL, since all this Kaepernick and all of that, and just the way they handle their business. I don't even, like you say, I don't support the NFL, but I do support the players. So I watch highlights. I pay attention to. I watch condensed games and things like that, commercials out of stuff like that. I don't watch them live or nothing like that. I don't have no interest. But at the end of the day, I know football. I know when I see these highlights, I see what's going on. I keep up with different stuff on ESPN and different little places. But I don't think they would not get a job. That's the thing. I don't think they Kaepernick.
I think that. Me personally, race always plays a part. I always say that NFL is nothing but corporate America on TV.
Right.
That's my perspective about NFL. I think it's corporate America on TV. Look at the pay structure. Look at who get paid. You'll see it for yourself. So with that being said, I feel like Cam would get a second opportunity, but he's going to be a backup just like Jameis.
Nah, I think Cam.
I think he's going to be the most.
Be a backup.
That's why it's so hard, because you can't look at none of the top 5 teams in the draft, and there's no scenario where they're going to bring Cam in with a young quarterback if they draft one. So
why not?
Be kind of young, huh?
Why wouldn't they?
Because that's not the direction that most teams go in, right? Most teams go in this day and era that ready to go type of quarterback.
But it's not that out there. So
it doesn't matter.
It's only in this upcoming draft. I think it's only maybe 3 quarterbacks that's ready to go. 3.
And when you say they're ready to go, I don't believe they ready to go. But
one is ready to go. I say one might be ready. That's Joe Brady. He might be ready.
Yeah, but even with Joe, I feel like the NFL game has changed so much, and you have to have a quarterback that resembles to what they're doing in Kansas, what they're doing in Texas. So if you don't have a quarterback that's getting outside that pocket, that can move, that gap mobility, I think the pocket passing quarterback era is coming to an end.
No, that's not true. LSU just won a national championship with a pocket passing quarterback.
They got a lot of help from the referees too.
No, if you watch that game, they killed them all over the field.
That's just why you got to lag. That's why you got to lag, because God don't want to hit it.
Clemson tried to come up with a whole new defense to try to stop LSU and still couldn't stop LSU. So,
hey, you got a little lag in you because God don't want to hear it because I'm right. But I just feel like at the end of the day, Cam, Jameis, if they're gonna get picked up, it probably be in the next couple of weeks. And if that doesn't happen, it's gonna happen after the draft.
I feel they both gonna get picked up. They both gonna do what they gotta do.
Hey, that boy Wilder. Hey, he says the hell.
It's the hell. Cut the wicks off, Cam.
Man, like I said again, I hope that we can get over that, you know what I'm saying, as far as the hair situation and him having to cut and be a good old boy. I believe that we can be different in America, and we can be a great nation and respect people as far as how they want to look, dress, feel, as long as it's not disrespecting nobody else. But if it is the hair and if it is that situation, I think that's sad.
Yeah, very sad. I agree. if it comes down to neither one of them get a job, then we know what's going on. I'm just gonna be optimistic and say I know with their talent, both of them should land a job. If they don't, then we all know something else is going
on. Well, we're gonna wait and see. So, I mean, like I said, it's almost been 2 weeks since free agency opened up. So, let's see what happens in the next couple of days.
Yeah. With that being said, we're gonna close the show out. If you made it this far, that means you love what we do, you like what we're doing. Hit that subscribe button, hit that share, let your friends and family know about it. Help us grow. We didn't pass 50. We trying to get to 100. Help us get there.
Yes, sir.
It's been your boy 305 King.
And it's your boy DJ Reloaded.
Peace and love.